guys, happy new year. Today I thought I would sit down and do a totally unprepared New Year's goals video because that seemed like a good idea. I don't normally prepare for my videos like really much at all, especially these like chit chat type videos, except for my New Year goals videos. I usually take time, sit down and kind of think about what I want. I mean, even just not if I wasn't to film it, like kind of write things down and figure out what my plan is, and I didn't do that. And I just thought, I want to share this. I have some thoughts, some rumblings of things going around in my brain, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll just blab on endlessly at the camera. Because some people seem to like that. So here we are. Anyway, Happy New Year. Like I said, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful first week of the new year, and that it's off to a great start for you, that the year is looking up. I know for many 2016 was a very challenging year for multitude of reasons we all share and reasons we don't share. For me, a little bit of a reflection here. It was an amazing year. It was a challenging year, but the most prevalent feeling I have, I don't know if that's quite the right word, but what have you, is that it was just the best year of my life. Being a mother now and having that dream come to fruition with the birth of our daughter, the very end of 2015, it was just a dream come true, and it's just been amazing. Of course, being a parent, being a mom isn't easy. It isn't like the simplest thing in the world, but I couldn't have dreamed it would be as amazingly awesome as it is, and it has been such a joy and just such a growing experience for me personally. I mean, of course, my favorite thing about being a mom is having Charlotte in my life, my little girl. She is just the light of my life. I love her to pieces. It's amazing for me and Dawn to have like a real family unit now. Of course, Winnie's over here. You can't see her, but she's sitting next to me. Of course, Winnie's always been our family as well, but now it feels, I don't know, it just feels a lot more complete, I guess, having Charlotte with us, and it just feels like she's always been with us, even though she hasn't, you know. I don't know, I think she's always been part of my soul and my heart, and now she's really here, and it's amazing. And I've just so enjoyed watching her learn and grow every single day, and it's been a joy. I will do an update on her, a 1-year update, probably later in the month after we're in Utah right now. If you're like, where are you? This is my in-laws bedroom at our Utah house. It has the best lighting, natural lighting. I don't have any studio lights out here, so it just is easier for me to film in here. And in Utah, we have a family home that I'll go to over the holidays and for a big chunk of the summer as well. So anyway, we've been here for a little while. We have a little bit longer that we're here. I always wish we were here longer. It's just never enough time. I just love being in the mountains. Anyway, back to my stream of thought. It's been a great year. It's been a different year for me in terms of sharing publicly my content, and this is going to kind of segue into my goals for the year. I definitely pulled back a lot, and there were, you know, some personal reasons for that, and I'm sure you can all respect that I have my reasons for when I share and when I don't, and what I do and what I don't, and I don't feel obligated to share those reasons. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. Let's just say I did pull back quite a significant amount, not only because of time constraints, having being a stay-at-home mom and being the primary caregiver for our daughter. I mean, Don is great, but he's super busy with work right now, so he's just not home much. He doesn't see her much during the week, and so it's just time constraints is one thing, and there's so much more I would want to share. It's just time constraints. I do need to sleep a little bit now and then, but additionally, I just had to pull back on sharing personal stuff, and it still bothers me that there's so many more things I want to share with you that I just can't right now. And I guess I just have to honor those feelings more than my wishes that I could share more, is honor the kind of biggest reason is just for, you know, to maintain some privacy and kind of shield my little family at this kind of new time with I mean, she's still only a year old. It's still very new. So I don't know how, I get a lot of questions. I thought I'd bring this up. I know it's gonna stir the pot that I did, but I know a lot of you, I get questions every single day, questions and comments. When are you vlogging again? I miss your vlogs. I miss seeing you on Snapchat. I miss this, I miss that. I miss doing those things too, you guys. I just, if it doesn't feel right, like if it doesn't sit right with me, I'm not gonna post it, and I can't right now. It doesn't sit right. So I honestly don't know what the future will hold for that kind of content. I'd love to be able to bring it back, but it has to feel right. It has to feel right, you know what I mean? It has to feel safe and right. And it just hasn't. So my goals for content this year are to keep sharing with you, and hopefully on a regular basis as much as possible. I try to post at least once a week. That's sort of my minimum goal, and that's usually all I get around to lately, but one video a week, and I don't know. It's just hard to manage the blog and the YouTube channel with other things going on in my life. So I don't know how things are gonna unfold exactly, and I wish I could have a better answer for you, but my goal is to keep posting regularly because I love keeping in touch with you guys and keeping kind of up to date, and maybe doing some more sit down videos like this where I kind of fill you in on things, a couple more Q&As over the year, and some more personal stuff, so you guys can get, you know, so we can chit chat more as friends, and it's not just me like sharing about products or whatever, which has kind of been what I felt like that's the only thing I've really been able to share lately, but we'll see what unfolds. I do so appreciate your guys' patience and understanding. You've just been so supportive and great, and I really appreciate that. It means the world to me, and it's just, I don't know, it's so cool that you guys are interested, I think, in me and my family and what goes on with us. It's just cool, you know, like people care. Like, who knew? I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of my content shtick for you for the upcoming year, because I know I'm gonna get questions, so I just wanted to get that kind of squared away right off the bat. Kind of the usual, I guess what a lot of people would think of as goals for the year would be, well, my number one is just really prioritizing family time, which I already do, but really kind of, now that Charlotte's getting older and is just more interested and into things and awake more, and, you know, obviously as a 1-year-old, she's just able to do more and see more and explore more. I just want to make more of a point of really family time on the weekends, especially with when Dawn's available, like getting out and doing things, there's so much that Chicago has to offer, going to museums, going to the zoos, going to the aquarium, going out and doing stuff. Keeping up with our swim classes, maybe finding some other classes that I can do with Charlotte as she's older and is able to enroll in things like mommy and me stuff we can do together. Especially, like I said, now that she's awake just so much more during the day. We can do more of that. So kind of getting out and emphasizing exploring together and being out and about together. I am such a homebody that I really have to make that a priority and make that a thing. Like I do on a daily basis, I get us out of the house, at least for a walk with Winnie, weather permitting. We do that every day unless it's like really not nice out. And then also we go to the store, we go over to my mom's house, we go visit somebody, we go out to lunch, like we do something every day. I'm sorry, my nose is really itchy. I think there's like a hair on it, so sorry, I keep touching it. That's annoying. And also, I don't think I put blush on this cheek. Like I put whatever, I don't know what this lighting's doing anyway. Wow, I'm so easily sidetracked. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yes, so putting an emphasis on family time in an exploratory way. I think just experiencing new things is good for, not only for Charlotte, but also for me to get out and put myself out there and just be more like out and about in the world. So that's kind of number one personal goal. Number two, obviously something that's lots of people do, a healthier lifestyle, healthy nutrition, and getting back to exercising. I haven't worked out maybe 2 months. It's been a long time. I've had a lot of other things on my plate that I've been working on, and it's just had to sacrifice some things. Like, you know, time management is always a balance. There's things you have to give up. There's only so many hours in a day. And since I spend all of Charlotte's waking hours pretty much face to face with her, like interacting, doing things together. It's not a lot of time for, you know, and she doesn't nap a lot during the day. So there's not a lot of time to do other things during the day. And I wouldn't have in any other way, but I have to find a good balance to bring in exercise, maybe even just like 3 times a week to get in a little workout. I'm running around constantly with her anyway, so I'm like, I feel fit, I feel well. I just want to have exercise again be a part of my regular lifestyle, even if it's not a daily thing. And I do want to go back to Pit 28, and that's something I can do just a few times a week. You don't have to do it every day, and that's a Vlogilates program. I'll put a link to it below if you guys want to check it out, but I really like that. It's a very effective high intensity interval training workout in a very short amount of time. So that's a good thing to maybe pick back up. And then we just have not been eating well. I've been in charge of cooking, and I'm just not, you guys, I'm not good at cooking. I'm terrible at cooking, but I'm gonna try my best this year to find like a good maybe 14 or 15 recipes that I can just rotate until we get so sick of them that I find some new ones, and have them be healthy things that are easier for me to make and don't frustrate me and aren't too complicated, because I need really simplistic stuff to make and that my family likes to eat. So that's another goal. And kind of I need to cut back on the sweets, definitely with the holiday season. I was doing better in the fall. I really had cut back on sweets. And then with the holiday season, that just went all out the door. And I've been just like basically shoving my face with chocolate and cake. And, you know, it's been like this. I'm sure there's some sort of gift for that, but whatever. Anyway, I'm sure you guys, some of you can relate with me on that. The holidays is just so hard to avoid sweets the holidays, especially if you have a bit of a sweet tooth, like some people I know. So those, that's like goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, and this is sort of my big one for me personally. Like a lot of those other things involve my family and taking care of us as a group and us individually, but this next one is really, it's about me. It's also about my family, I guess, but it's a focus on memory keeping. I've really gotten back into it, especially with the December daily project I did, which I'll put a link down to below if you were wondering what that was. It's basically just like a daily scrapbook you keep in the month of December, and it was a big time commitment. I definitely didn't sleep much. I cut out my sleep to work on that. I worked on it like 1 to 2 hours a day. I know, which is crazy, but it was so worth it to me. It was just, I had the most fun with it. I can't tell you guys how much fun I had with it, and it's a beautiful memento. I made it mainly for my daughter, because I was just thinking, like, even if she's not that interested in that stuff until much later on in life, I'm sure there's a point in her life where she'll want to know what it was like her first year, her first Christmas, her first December. And it's just something for her to look back on. And it's more presently something for me. It was something for me to really, to help me foster and create this sense of magic for myself, even around the Christmas time and the holidays. And it really did that. And I see myself doing this again next year, even though it is a bit of a, you know, it's an investment of time for sure, because it was incredible, and it totally rekindled my fire and my desire to memory keep. Like at the beginning of last year, when Charlotte was born, I started a Project Life album, which is a weekly scrapbooking project. So basically you have to double spread for a week, and in a big, like a 12 by 12 album. And I kept up with that through the end of March. And then it fell off my radar and I didn't do any more. So I have like, what is it, January, February, March. I have 3 beautiful months of scrapbook, and it's a pretty easy, at the Project Life, it's pocket scrapbooking. And you can do it very simplistically, which is what I did. One of my goals is to finish the 2016 year. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna maybe set a little bit of a deadline for myself, maybe by the end of February. If I spend maybe even just 15-20 minutes on it a day, I can get it done by then. So I might still not be sleeping a lot at the beginning of this year, but that's okay. That's my number 1 goal. with my memory keeping. And then my number 2 goal is to start a Project Life album for 2017 and keep up with it. So I haven't quite decided how I'm going to approach that either. If it's something I'll work on, like pick one day a week where I dedicate an hour to it and just do the whole previous week. I think that's probably going to make the most sense. I think I'm going to need to work on a bit more of a structured time management schedule for myself, which I haven't really done in the past year. It's been regimented by my daughter's napping, which has been very erratic and very short for the most part. But as she's getting older, I'm finding now that she's sleeping a little bit more consistently, and I think when she consolidates to one nap, which I have a feeling is going to happen in the next few months because she's just not that big of a daytime sleeper, that will give me, like, hopefully she'll consolidate to like a 2-hour nap. I mean, that would be awesome. That would give me just like to have 2 full hours to do stuff would be great, because now, like, I maybe get 45 minutes to an hour of a nap from her twice a day if I'm lucky, sometimes only 30 minutes twice a day. And by the time I put her down and I've thrown in the laundry and I've cleaned up the kitchen and I've, you know, put away the clothes and I've wiped down the counters and I've, you know, whatever things I have to do around the house, started writing some bills, paying some bills, doing some fun, she wakes up and like I don't have any time to get any work done. So I've been doing all my work at night after, like, Don and I have our alone time too, because I need to make that a priority as well. And that goes into my family. I should have said that in my family time goal, is to, you know, make sure I continue to dedicate time to just me and Don, because it's really important for us to, you know, to preserve our relationship and to give that attention. It needs its separate attention. It can't just be about parenting. It has to be about him and me as a relationship as well. So yes, I had to backtrack there because I meant to say that. To me it was just implied, but obviously it wasn't to you. Anyway, yes, I'm hoping to have a bit more of a chance to make more of a schedule for myself. Be like, to pick a few days a week where I'm working, like one day a week where I'm filming and one day a week where I'm editing, like a few days a week where I'm editing, and then one day a week where I'm working on my memory keeping. So if I have like 1 to 2 hours to do those things every day, and I know, like, oh, it's Monday, it's memory keeping day, it's Tuesday, it's filming day, it's Wednesday, it's editing day, you know, that would help me. And of course it doesn't have to be rigid, but I think it'd be helpful to have that sort of in place. And also be able to work on my home stuff and home projects that I'm working on as well, and just the home upkeep, which, as you guys, I mean, I'm sure all of you know who have a home, like you have to take care of your home. You have to put time and effort into it. So there's just so much I want to do in any given day. I just wish the days were longer. I wish I could either sleep less successfully or the days were longer. But anyway, yeah, memory keeping is a big one for me. And so I talked about completing 2016 Project Life, starting 2017 Project Life. My goal for the year is to do Charlotte's baby album. I have all the information I need for that and all of the supplies. I just need to put it together. So my goal is to have it done by the end of the year, and I think that's pretty reasonable. I kept a baby journal for her from the whole year for every day, and I did a whole video on my baby planner. I'll throw that up in a card for you guys if you want to see it. I stuck with that for the whole year, and I'm doing it again this year in a different fashion, and I might share that as, you know, a little bit down the line, maybe in the spring, how I'm journaling for her every day. It's just a few minutes every day and a little picture, and it's just in case I never get to these baby book projects or whatever, at least I have these journals to look back on, and they've got pictures in them too. So it's a memory keeping and story keeping in that way. There's that, and then the final piece of that puzzle, and this is a little bit less memory keeping and a little bit more personal, like inner exploration, like delving in a bit more. I think as a parent especially, it's important to not lose yourself in parenting, and I'm definitely the type of personality who it's very easy for me to just kind of lose myself in being a mom and making that like the end all be all of everything I do and think. And, you know, I think it's important to still encourage self-exploration and inner, what am I trying to say? I'm thinking of something, but it's not coming to me, like inner, you know, taking care of yourself and learning about yourself and self-growth. There it is. And so I have signed up for the One Little Word class. This is another Ali Edwards thing, just like the December daily project. She is just great. I just can't talk enough about her. I talked about her in my favorites last month, and I'll link that for you guys if you want to see. I talked about the December, oh no, was that the month before I talked about it? Maybe, that might have been my November favorites. I talked about the December daily class because that's when I took that before I did the project. She is great. If you're into memory keeping or you want to get started in memory keeping, I highly recommend just going to her website. You don't have to pay anything to look at her blog. She shares so much, you know, of her memory keeping processes and different projects she does for free. You don't have to sign up for her classes. Her classes are great and I do recommend them. But you just take a look at her blog and her website, and it's just really inspiring and motivating, and in a way that seems doable, even if you're like strapped on time, if you're very busy, maybe you work full time, maybe you have a family and you're working and you have a family, you still want to do, I think you can. She makes it seem really, really accessible. And she's just, I don't know, she's very inspiring. But her One Little Word project is a year-long self-exploration project. And basically what you do is you pick a word at the beginning of the year that resonates with you, just one word, and you can sign up for her class. I think it's, I don't know if it's somewhere like around $35, $40. You get some materials with it, some digital projects, and then you get 12 months of a lot of material, videos and prompts, and kind of work, it's like a workshop almost, to help you explore your word and what it means to you and how that changes over the year. And it's just, it's a little project for yourself, I think. That's how I'm thinking of it. And I'm really prioritizing that this year. It's actually something I signed up to do last year, and I didn't make it past January. I kind of got swallowed up by the newborn things we were going through, and that I only did the first month, and I regret not doing it. I regret not following it through. So that's a big one for me this year, is following that through. And I will share my word with you. I picked the word create as my word this year that I want to kind of focus on from, you know, for self-growth. And that's from a very literal standpoint. I want to make memory keeping and even, you know, working on my planner and doing the plan with me stuff I've been sharing on my new channel, which I'll link for you guys. Is my pretty neat planner channel. I've been doing plan with me's for the month of December, and that was so much fun. And it's just being more creative and expressing myself through the way I plan, with, you know, just being a little bit more, I don't want to say artistic, 'cause I don't know if it's artistic, but, you know, just a little bit more of a creative expression, and my memory keeping. So those are the kind of physical elements of my word for me. But it's also about creating magic, creating memories, helping foster a sense of just an explorative spirit and just joy of the little things, helping my daughter, you know, kind of creating that, creating an environment where she can find that for herself, I think I would say, and creating that for myself in the process of that, and my family. There are other things I hope to create next year, but we'll see, you know, God willing. If that happens, we would like to have another child. I will share that with you. I'm not going to go into detail about when we start trying and how long that takes and all that, until hopefully after we either conceive or it's not going to happen, and then maybe I'll sit down and go over my story with you. But I find that it's better if I keep it to myself, keep it kind of private during the conception process. It just makes it easier for me to deal with. And I did mention that I wanted to share about my journey to conception with Charlotte, which was a very long road, and I did mention I wanted to share more about how I navigated that and the feelings and emotions I went through with that, because it was definitely a wide range of things and a roller coaster, and I finally found like a level ground for that. So that is something I still want to share. I've been talking about that for like a year, and maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. It's a very private thing, you know, but I think it's powerful to share with others, because it is a very common experience having difficulty conceiving. So I don't know what is in store for the year in terms of that, but it is in my heart. It is a deep wish and desire of mine to have, you know, for Charlotte to have a sibling, and for us to have, you know, at least one other child. I think to complete our family would be amazing. I'm gonna get a little emotional talking about it, but nothing's happened yet. Nobody's, you know, I've wanted to give myself a full year to recover, and then we'll see. I don't know what the year's gonna bring, but that is sort of in my heart as another part of that word. And I know that seems like an awful lot of things, but honestly, it seems like a much simplified list to me than in years past, because it's a lot less specific. In years past, I've had really specific goals, and yes, these are kind of specific, but they're kind of more general. You know, it's the family time, health, memory keeping, content. I mean, you know, pretty simple stuff. So that's what I've got on my brain right now. That's what's been knocking around in there. I'd love to know what some of your goals, or whatever you call them, resolutions are, if you care to share. I like to think of them as goals. I think resolutions seems a little bit final and a little bit kind of like definite, whereas I like to think of the beginning of the year as a time to really not only just reflect on the past year, but also to get excited about the new year. It feels like a new page. It feels like a fresh start. Even if you have ongoing things that are still difficult and challenging that you're working through, I feel like, at least for me, the new year gives me a bit of a kick in the pants, but in a good way, to you know, kind of gets my engines going, and it just feels fresh. It just feels fresh, and like I have the space to try new things and make new plans and start over a little bit, even if I'm not really starting over, if you know what I mean. But yes, that is my plan, my goals. You know, we'll see what unfolds. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope to share more content like this year if I can. I know you guys miss the vlogs, but like I said, I just don't know if they're in my future right now. They maybe one or two here or there if something special comes up that I might share with you. We'll see. We'll see. I just don't want to make any promises, because I know it's so disappointing when people say they're gonna do something and they don't. So no promises, but know that I so appreciate you guys, and your support has just been so amazing, and I'm really wishing you all a very happy and healthy new year. May you find happiness, may you find magic, and not only may you find it, may you create it for yourself and others. And joy, of course, always, in things both small and big. I wish you all those things and more. And here's to another year spent together. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to say it a few more times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you real soon. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.